cannot moderate because I'm on the phone. Okay, yeah, let's just go. Yeah. I think we're live now. Yes, we are. Oh, but how can I see where people type? Yes, I think I can do it on my phone. I mean, okay. Is there anybody there? How can I know? Oh, there it is. Is there any? Okay, we got one person. Oh, we got two. Oh my goodness, fantastic, because this is called at the last minute. Anybody else out there? Please type something, anything. Okay, yes, we got three. Okay, three is enough. Okay, to get started. Okay, so I'm going to, first of all, thank you so much for those of you who filled out the questions. Uh, can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Just type yes or why. No matter why. Can you hear me clearly? Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the questions and comments, and thank you so much for your, first of all, for your votes, and then second, thank you for your comments, and I hope nobody will cry as a result of anything that I say today. And I'm just gonna go through the questions, no favoritism for anybody, no hatred for anybody. But the first comment, which is really great, is I vote for expanding the speech contest to 13 North Korean refugees giving speeches. If in the past each contestant's speeches lasted 10 minutes, I suggest that you reduce the time to 8 minutes per contestant. At the Geneva Summit, what? Okay, at the Geneva Summit, as I recall, each speaker was allowed 8 minutes. Okay, first of all, everybody, I avoid talking about other organizations because if they come across me talking on the internet about them, they might interpret it as me attacking them or saying something negative about them, which I'm, really don't care what they're doing. But I usually avoid them because, you know, they won't say, why is this YouTube channel doing it? Why is Casey Lartigue, who's actually gone to the Geneva Summit, why is he talking about it? So let me just mention a couple things about it. First of all, Geneva, they recommend 8 minutes per speech. But those of you who joined our watch party, you might recall that our speaker, Hyoshim, started about 40 minutes late. Now, why did she start 40 minutes late? It's because most of their speakers went over the 8-minute time limit. They give it as a suggestion, but they're okay with the speakers going a bit above that. So actually, Geneva is not really relevant to us, but I want to be clear that one of the speakers actually spoke for 14 minutes. If you just go online, 2024 Geneva Summit, and you can see the videos there, that most of them spoke over the limit. In our case, we have the opposite issue. We recommend to the speakers that they speak about 8 minutes and that the maximum is 10 minutes. And if they speak more than 10 minutes, then the judges can knock them down in terms of the rankings for the contest. So we have the opposite issue, that our speakers don't speak 10 minutes. That's only the absolute time limit. And also we tell those who are beginning speakers or maybe lower level English speakers that 6 or 7 minutes should be enough, okay? So Geneva is not related to us. I just want to be clear about that. And I hope anybody from Geneva who sees this, that you don't think I'm criticizing you. That's not my point. But since the issue was raised, I do need to respond to it. Okay, now, if we add 6 speakers, which is not a bad idea, but let's think about the reality. That will mean that we're adding almost an hour to the contest. With 7 speakers, it's about 2.5 hours, but we have other things going on. We have intermission for the judges to deliberate. We have some guest speakers and sponsors and others who talk, who give remarks of greetings at the beginning. So if we do add another 6 contestants, then we have to be honest with potential attendees and tell them this is likely to last about 3 hours and 15 minutes or about 3 hours and 30 minutes. And as you may know, a lot of people don't like to go to events when they expect that they will last for 3 hours or more. But we cannot fool anybody. We have to let them know our actual estimate. Now, where does that time come from? So let's say a speaker speaks 9 minutes. There's like a minute. First of all, we need to introduce the speaker. Then the speaker speaks. And then when the speaker finishes, we can't just get off the stage. We have to give them a little time to get off the stage properly. And then we need to announce who the next speaker is, because every speaker needs to have the respect of being introduced properly. And then that adds at least 2 minutes between each speaker. So if each speaker speaks, let's say 8 or 9 minutes, then that's 10 or 11 minutes for each speaker. Of course, some might speak less, but we should not be too optimistic about that. So the first thing is that we do need to really consider if we do add more speakers that, as good as it feels, and we like to hear as many stories as possible, but there is the reality of time. Okay, so first thing, so that's the response to the first comment, but thank you so much. Okay, I'm like a butcher cutting meat, so no emotion about it, just analyzing the situation. Now, another consideration is the number of mentors requesting to work with the refugees on their speeches. So thank you for this comment, because this shows a little thought beyond just, woohoo, more refugees and let's cheer them all on. So for every speaker that we bring on, we need to be thinking about at least one mentor, but in some cases they want 2. So if we bring in 6 speakers, that means 9 more mentors that we need to bring in, and it's not easy. A lot of people say they want to help. Uh-oh, the audio is quiet. Okay, dahe. Okay, one person says that the audio is quiet. Can you come and take a look? Okay, we've actually got the microphone, special microphone here. Okay. Okay. Well, how about now? How does it sound? I'll just talk directly into it if necessary. Okay, what's the audio now? Okay, it's better. Okay, all right, I'll just talk directly into this then. Okay, so 6 more contestants means 9 more mentors. And so that means we've got to do a hard recruitment in the next week and get more people to go through the process and actually show up at the orientation and then actually follow through on everything. But I want to bring up another issue, and I'll ask it as a question. How many awards are given out that day? And what are the categories? Okay, it might take too long to type it, so I'll just explain it. We have the grand prize winner. We have first and second and third place. So that's 4 people. If we have 13 contestants, that's going to be 9 people who are not going to be happy because everybody wants to at least place in the top 4. We've tried to find ways to broaden it. First of all, we used to just do first, second, and third place, but I thought we should add another one. So we added grand prize, and we talked to our sponsors to make sure they're okay with it. So now we have 4 places. But with 13 people in the contest, that means 9 people are not going to place, and that's a lot of people. And within 9 people, some of them are going to grumble about it and be angry and accuse us of choosing who should win, and when we don't get involved with the judging at all. But so we have to think about, if we really do have 13 contestants, that only 4 of them are going to consider, that they placed. Now we've come up with a, honorable mention, but they still know. It's like they didn't make it in the top 4. We tried all kinds of names over the years, and we settled on honorable mention for now, but there is the reality of that. Then the next comment, which I like, would it be possible to keep the same number of contestants, but expand the number of contests you do per year? So this would make it possible to include many more than 13. Perhaps it could even become a competition with, semifinals and championship round. Okay, first of all, you are going to be the most unpopular person in our office because we already have 2 contests per year. Now, if any of you saw the Tae Young Ho speech at our 18th contest, he mentioned how incredible it is that we've done 18 contests. Now, why is that incredible? Most organizations that have this kind of contest give up after like 2, maybe 3 times. A lot of organizations, they have one and then they're done. I only know of 1 or 2 other organizations that have had more than 3, but theirs are private events, much smaller than what we do. Ours is open to the public. We typically have, when we have it at our main sponsor's office, about 130 attendees. Well, that's how many fit in the room. Sometimes we actually exceeded that. When we had it at the National Assembly, it's about 60 or 70 people in the room. Doing this kind of contest once a year is already enough. And I can just explain the background. So when we started back in 2015 with the first speech contest in February, I was the sponsor of that. From our second contest, Shin and Kim became the sponsor. But after that first contest, we didn't know if we were going to do this again because it was quite an undertaking to get it done, especially with no sponsorship to start. But the refugees gave us such strong feedback that they loved the contest. They loved getting prepared with the mentors. So we decided to have a second contest when the sponsor came on board. And then we had, I think it was after our 3rd or 4th contest where the Shin and Kim Law Office said they wanted to do this forever. All right, that's great. Stupidly, I didn't get it in a contract. They're lawyers. I should have gotten it in a contract. But anyway, so we've been having the contest twice a year. To do more, I think our staff would have a mutiny and I will be deposed and doing something else instead of doing this. So I will say that I think that having more contests will probably not be something we're going to do because also we have to have sponsors for each contest. So it's not just a matter of just have a contest. I mean, we need sponsors and we need to have, first class event. And by bringing it down to having 3 or 4 and championship rounds and all that, I think it would be too much. So that I don't believe will happen. And then the last comment, more the merrier. More participants means more open spots for those willing to improve their English. Okay, so yes, but as I said earlier, with 13 contestants and 9 of them not placing in the top 4, I don't think they'll be merrier as a result. So, okay, so those are some of the real practical things we have to think about. I mean, there are other things such as when we have 7 contestants, then Ungu and I can really get more involved with monitoring sessions, attending sessions, inviting refugees to the office. If we go to 13, then that means 13 people visiting our office in just, less than 2 months, but especially to come into the office for practice sessions. We have a lot of other things to do, such as run the organization. So one thing we do have to think about is, the quantity is great, but we really have to think about the quality. That with 13 mentors, we're going to be following many more sessions, and even just like some very practical things. And I'm not saying this is a major thing, but very practical, such as we provide a Zoom account for the refugees and mentors to be able to study online. And we have an account, paid account, that we share with them. And even with 7 people, one account actually isn't enough. And with 13 people, definitely one account won't be enough. So then we're probably going to have 4 or 5 different accounts. I'd like for everybody to have their own account, by the way, but that's not going to happen apparently. So a lot of practical things to think about. And of course, we want to have as many people as possible speaking. But this now from my understanding is that our name has gotten bigger, that now more North Korean refugees are finding out about us, and more North Korean refugees who want to engage in public speaking are contacting us. So that's why in the message I said it's good news and it's bad news. So it's good news, of course, that they're finding us. But the bad news is that we're still a low scale organization. I mean, our capacity is low. We only have a handful of staffers and a couple of volunteers in the office. But for the contest, it actually takes a lot for us to get it done. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the comments that we received. And again, I was really happy to receive so many comments. I posted that this morning, I think at like 6:40 a.m. And then when I started getting comments, I thought, okay, you know what? I should respond. So I decided to go ahead and hold this YouTube live. Now, are there any questions, comments, thoughts in response to what I said? Number one. Number two, is there anybody who wants to change their vote from, okay, actually with the results, it ended up being 50-50. So 5 people voted for, oh no, it changed. Oh wait, let me see, okay. Yes, 50-50. So 5 people voted for adding 3 more contestants, and 5 people voted for adding 6 more contestants, and a total of 8 people just left a like on it. And we had 7 comments, although 2 were from me. So we had 5 comments from the rest of you. Okay, all right, so, okay, now Paul says 10. Okay, yeah, 20. Sure, it's our 20th anniversary. So let's have 20 refugees on stage and have like an 8-hour contest. Okay, I would leave in the middle of that. So, okay, oh, you said you meant 10. Okay, yeah. So let's make it really big. Why stop at 13? Let's go to 20. Okay, all right. Any other thoughts, comments? All right, RFL. Okay, you're welcome. All right, anybody else want to say anything? Okay, I'll wait a moment, let you type. I can talk faster than you can type. Okay, 10 is nice. Yeah. Yeah. Now, whatever number we say, actually for this, Ms. Ungu Lee is the final decision maker. She is the one who decides. I'm not going to reveal what her opinion is now about it, but I leave it up to her because she's the one who has to actually deal with the refugees and talk with them and explain if they cannot join the contest. So I leave it up in her hands because she's the one who really has to handle it. For those of you who don't know the way FSI operates, I'm the guy who comes up with the ideas and the strategy and all that, but leave a lot of the decisions up to Ungu because she's the one who actually has to either get them done or engage with the North Korean refugees directly and explain to them. So anyway, we'll let her decide. Okay, all right, FSI is laughing about that reality. Everybody in the office knows the truth that Ungu is the actual decision maker. I'm the guy who's public. I'm the guy people see on TV and all that, so they think that I'm the guy, you know, and like all these stupid conspiracy theorists, they think that it's just like a one-man operation, and it's like, that's not true. I know my reality. I think it was Chris Rock who said that he couldn't even run a candy store in an elementary school, and I feel like I'm the same way. I couldn't do this on my own, especially being in a different country, so I recognize my place, and I just give advice, okay? Okay, so Paul says, after hearing details, 10 is more practical. Yes, okay, yeah, just excited. That's good. Well, we're very happy. No, actually, I was thinking 13 is a lot, okay? But happy to see that people are enthusiastic about it and want to hear more North Korean refugee voices. It's just we can only handle so much at one time with the contest. And now I mentioned earlier that a lot of attendees don't show up. A lot of attendees, people have told me they looked and saw, oh, the contest will last 3 hours. I can't do 3 hours. Now, when people who actually show up, most of them will stay, but you know, some people got their own lives. One of our volunteers, that's actually his birthday. So he can only hang around for so long, and other people have their own thing. So we don't lock the door. And, you know, we're not like North Korea where nobody can leave. People are free to leave. So, but if we announce 3.5 hours, oh my God. Okay. But anyway, who knows? People might accept the reality, especially if I explain it like this. Okay, any other comments, thoughts, questions? All right, and then also on Patreon, you can leave a comment there. What you know, if you change your mind. But I do want to give one warning, as I said about Geneva. Let's be careful talking about other organizations. We don't know why they do what they do, and they may have a reason that they do things their way. But we are Freedom Speakers International. We're doing things our own way. Okay, and doing things based on the people who come to us and the refugees and volunteers and donors and supporters and all that. So yeah, let's always remember that we're going to do it our own way based on the people who are with us. Okay, all right, I think that's it. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody who joined. By the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do so. And also, please subscribe to the Freedom Speakers International channel. On our channel, we have about 700, I think 724 subscribers to the Freedom Speakers International channel. And the bigger we are, the more people we can invite onto our channels. I've got just like over 1,000 subscribers on my channel, which, you know, is not enough. And if I want to invite somebody, it's a little bit embarrassing. Will you come on my channel with 1,000 subscribers? I can invite some dynamic people onto my channel, but not with 1,000 subscribers. So at some point we got to find some way to increase the number of people who are watching. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining on such short notice. And I'm sure I'll be doing more lives, but especially when I see people commenting on what we're doing, then I feel more motivated to set up this kind of thing and to talk with you. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, great. Okay, and Dahe, you can come and shut this down. I'm not sure the right way to do it. If I call your name a lot during these things. Okay. Oh, just the X. Okay.